Let me paint you a picture. You're in your late 20s, maybe early 30s. You've got a decent job, some savings sitting in your account, and everyone around you, your parents, your colleagues, your Instagram feed, is sending you the same message. Stop throwing money away on rent, buy a house, build equity. That's what smart people do. So you do it, you stretch your budget a little, you sign the papers, you get the keys, and for about 3 weeks it feels incredible. Then the water heater breaks, then the roof needs work, then you realize your monthly costs are $400 more than you planned, and the job opportunity in another city, the one that could have changed your career, you have to turn it down, because you can't just leave, you own a house now. And somewhere between the mortgage statement and the maintenance bill, a quiet thought creeps in. Did I just trap myself? Here's the belief that almost every culture on Earth has passed down for generations. Buying a home is the smartest financial move you can make. It's an investment, it builds wealth. Renting is just throwing money away every month with nothing to show for it. This idea is so deeply embedded in how we think about money that questioning it feels almost rebellious, almost irresponsible. But here's what nobody tells you inside that belief. Buying a home is only a smart financial move when you are genuinely ready for it. And most people who buy, especially in their 20s and early 30s, are not ready. Not because they aren't smart, not because they don't work hard, but because nobody ever walked them through what homeownership actually costs, what it actually does to your flexibility, and what it actually requires to make financial sense. The house doesn't trap people, the timing does. Let's break down what actually happens when someone buys a home before they're ready. First, the upfront costs alone are staggering in a way most buyers don't fully grasp until they're in it. The down payment is usually the number people focus on, but then comes the closing costs, typically 2 to 5% of the home's price. Then the inspection fees, the legal fees, the moving costs, the immediate repairs or upgrades the previous owners left behind. By the time you've moved in, you've often spent 20 to 30% more than just the down payment. And that's before you've made a single mortgage payment. Now here's where the psychology gets interesting. When people pay rent, they understand exactly what they're spending. It's a fixed number, it goes out, that's it. But when people own a home, there are invisible costs that don't feel like spending, they feel like ownership. Property taxes, home insurance, maintenance, which financial experts suggest budgeting at 1 to 2% of the home's value every single year. That's on a $300,000 home, up to $6,000 a year just to maintain what you already own. People who aren't ready for homeownership don't account for these costs in advance. So when they arrive, and they always arrive, the budget breaks, credit cards come out, emergency funds get drained, and suddenly the thing that was supposed to build wealth is actively consuming it. There's a second problem that almost nobody talks about. A house locks you in place. When you're in your 20s or early 30s, your career is still forming. Your income is still growing. The opportunities that will shape your financial life most dramatically, promotions, new industries, companies in different cities, require mobility. They require the ability to say yes. Homeownership makes saying yes exponentially harder. You can't just pick up and move when an opportunity calls. You either have to sell, which takes time, costs money, and depends entirely on market conditions, or you become a landlord by accident, managing a property from another city with all the stress that brings. The house doesn't just cost money, it costs options. Here's the deeper truth that changes how you should think about this. A home is not an investment in the traditional sense. A true investment generates income or grows your wealth without consuming your resources. A home, especially one you live in, does neither by default. Yes, home values can appreciate over time. But when you factor in the mortgage interest paid over 30 years, the maintenance costs, the property taxes, the insurance, and the opportunity cost of what that down payment could have earned invested elsewhere, the real financial return on most primary residences is far more modest than the cultural story suggests. There's a psychological concept at play here called the endowment effect. Once we own something, we instinctively overvalue it. We believe our home is worth more than the market says. We believe it's building more wealth than the numbers show. We hold on to it longer than we should. We pour money into it that would have grown faster somewhere else. The emotional attachment to homeownership is real, and it's powerful, but emotions are not a financial strategy. The people who genuinely build wealth through real estate understand one thing clearly: the home you live in is a lifestyle choice. The The properties that build wealth are the ones that generate income or appreciate strategically while someone else pays the costs. So what does being ready actually look like? It means your emergency fund is fully intact and stays fully intact after the purchase. It means your monthly housing costs, mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, don't exceed 30% of your take-home income. It means you have strong reason to believe you'll stay in the same area for at least 5 to 7 years. It means you've stress-tested your budget against unexpected repairs and job changes. And critically, it means you're buying because the numbers make sense for your life, not because someone made you feel like renting was failure. Renting is not throwing money away. Renting is paying for housing, flexibility, and the freedom to make better financial decisions without being anchored to a single asset. For the right person at the right stage of life, renting is the smarter move. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. The question is never, should I rent or buy? The real question is, what does my financial life actually need right now? A house can be a wonderful thing. It can provide stability, community, and genuine long-term value. But only when the timing is right, the finances are solid, and the decision is driven by logic, not by the quiet social pressure that makes you feel like an adult failure for not owning one. The most expensive financial decisions people make aren't the reckless ones. They're the ones made to meet someone else's definition of success. Know your numbers, know your life, and never let a cultural script write your financial story.